Hello and welcome everybody into another edition of the PHNX Suns podcast. I'm your host, Greg Esposito, ahoy hoy, and we are brought to you, as always, by our friends at DraftKings. Use that code PHNX when you sign up. Bet $1 on any football game. You're going to get $150 in free bets. I haven't been here in a week, but we now have DraftKings swag on the table, so that's cool.
Yeah, our producer's like completely swagged out right over
the
here.
The man behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, repping DraftKings hard right now, for sure. But let's welcome everybody in. As always, the woman who sat in and filled in for me last week and ruined my ass crease in this chair.
I only sat in that chair one time.
And it's all messed up, damn it.
What?
It's two-time Lindsey Smith. How are you, Lindsey?
I was better before you blamed me for your chair.
It was probably the Coyotes, guys.
It was definitely them.
I'm going to go with Gerald first because it always makes...
Because you already know what? I already got something to say right off the bat.
Always makes Gerald... Gerald Bourguet, how are you, Gerald?
I'm doing great. I don't need a lot of time. Let's get to Saul's thing. What's your thing?
Did you know that this is the PHNX Suns podcast presented by Greg Esposito, and then DraftKings, and then these guys? I've noticed that every show, and I was like, I don't know why today I feel like saying something about that. I think we're a team, Espo. All of us should be after.
Okay. You want to know why? Because I forget the DraftKings thing.
That's exactly
because I'm so damn used to introducing people. And then I remember, DraftKings is our sponsor.
Like,
we should mention them.
Oh, then, by the way, these three assholes have joined me as well.
You said it. I'm not agreeing, but...
Yeah.
I did that a couple times last week, too, I feel like.
Did you?
Either that or I just introduced us, and then you all chatted for a minute. I was like, oh, wait, by the way...
Yeah.
We got to get paid.
I feel like I've done that a little bit.
Now that we've made it thoroughly awkward for our sponsors and us,
very much.
Let's talk about making it thoroughly awkward for one of the other shows.
Hells yeah.
Okay.
So you guys don't know this, but I was listening to the Coyotes show from last Friday when I was driving in today, because as part of my job here, I have to listen to the other shows. Contractually obligated is what we'll say. And I'm sitting there, and their premise is a what if episode. And I go, oh, well, you know what? Fine. They can steal our ideas. It's like siblings. We'll allow you to have our hand-me-downs. That's fine.
Right.
But then I saw and heard this clip, Shane, if we can play it.
The Suns are just destroying you all.
Oh, are they?
The Suns have like 5,000.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no.
Well, so you play in the Western Finals? Or not the Western Finals, the NBA Finals?
I think it was more... Yeah, and the shameless promoting of the people associated with that beat too might have something to do with it. So just throwing that out there.
Shots are fired early today.
So that was...
Wait, I missed it.
So
Can
they
you
were
recap?
talking about social followings, right?
Okay.
And they were saying that, the Cardinals are catching up with us on the social following. And then Jacob, who was producing for him, said, oh, by the way, the Suns have 5,000, so you're not anywhere near them. Mm-hmm. And then... Craig and PD, I'm going to leave Leah out of this because she just awkwardly had to sit there while they were throwing shade.
No.
But Craig then decides to say it's because we shamelessly promote our social handle. That's what we're paid to do, is to promote this social handle, right?
What? Like, what are these two talking about? First of all, PD, you just started your own Twitter account like 2 months ago, or not even 2 months ago. It was like 1 month ago.
It was the day we launched. She got on Twitter.
Like, you started 1 month ago, and then you have the nerve to sit there and ask, how come we have so many followers? Well, we didn't start last month. That's why.
I love Craig, who has probably, I think he has the most.
Craig probably has the most out of all of us.
Yes, for sure. Oh, look at Craig.
Oh, here we go.
What does it say?
Good to move your followers over from an existing account, just saying.
Oh, wait, you guys did the same thing. They did the same thing. It used to be the Hattie Natty Cincinnati account. And now it's PHNX Coyotes. Don't you come at us with that bullshit, Craig.
I love that Craig decides he has the most social followers of anybody in the company, I believe. And he decides to come at us.
Yeah,
I love
He
that.
decides to come at us like that, shamelessly plugging. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to look straight in the camera.
No, you know what's going to happen, right?
Oh.
Tomorrow, PHNX Coyotes is magically going to become Craig Morgan's Coyotes. And they're going to switch. And all of a sudden, they're going to have like 15,000 followers. Like, what?
Look, I'm going to say this directly to the camera and directly into the mic so you guys can hear this real clear, Coyotes, PHNX Coyotes. I'm going to make, if you guys can get to 5,000 by December, I will put on goalie pads. You can pick any hockey player, and I will take a slap shot. All right? That's how much faith I have that you guys will not catch us
Without
to
a face
5,000. And I did not say without.
Hey.
Nobody wants this any worse looking than
Speaking of slap shots, speaking of slap shots, Craig goes, also a question for Espo. Can you explain to the viewers how a team that went to the NBA Finals, a team that is the Valley's original major sports team, is trailing in merch sales behind a team that hasn't won a standard playoff round in 9 years and is planning to be awful this season? No judgment here. It just perplexes.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, I think you could
we don't have
blame.
a shirt yet.
Yeah,
That helps.
we don't have a shirt yet.
We have one shirt that
actually-
has 4 letters on it.
Actually, yeah, Tuesday, then you can come talk to us, Craig, because Tuesday we are dropping something pretty cool.
Like tomorrow?
Is it?
Hey,
Fuck yeah,
I'm
let's go.
excited.
How about
Why do you guys
brief
keep
us on that
secrets from
stuff?
us for
I
so
don't need to
much?
brief you on it. We were just going to surprise you guys because
Oh.
we wanted to surprise you
Oh,
guys.
okay,
But
okay,
since
okay.
Craig wanted to bring up merch, I had to ruin the surprise, but I'm not going to tell you what it looks like until tomorrow.
So feel free
I'm excited.
to find your hardest slap shot shooter because
What is Leah saying?
This is important. I'd be careful. She brought up a good point by saying don't upset Morgan's minions. Craig has some diehard fans that will find your address.
Please don't. I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I didn't say anything to the minions.
I will Morgan's minions. I will DM you my address if you want to have a talk.
Speaking
we could
of
have a talk.
shirts, strange how one of the basketball teams, I can't see it.
keeps wearing hockey t-shirts.
It's because some of the defunct hockey teams in this town have fun names, all right, and logos.
Craig is hilarious.
Craig is coming out blazing.
Craig's got that
Craig
fire today.
Espo was not ready for this.
I did not expect Craig to. Of course, the writer is in
got all
the
flustered.
comments just going crazy. Craig, it's on, is all I'm saying. I love you guys like brothers and sisters on that show, but like brothers and sisters, we have a sibling rivalry now. So brace yourselves, is what we're saying here. So that was in lieu of our tip topic. I felt like we had to bring that up today. I go away and the kids decide to take shots at us, is what it is. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
we
went
talk
away and he
some
came
songs?
back just as upset when he left.
I came back more upset, all right?
It's because he never left.
The beach.
He was texting me the whole week from the beach. I'm like, dude, if you don't leave me alone.
I still got sand in the shoes everywhere. Like, it's just, I'm not happy. Let's talk some Suns.
okay, can I just say one thing real quick?
Okay, sure.
No.
He's like, no.
Yes. What would you like to say?
Mikal Bridges.
Yes.
I just
Mikal
have to say
Bridges.
it out here on the mic, put it out there. Mikal Bridges, I really wish that we could have made a bet happen because I would have loved to bask in the glory of that last night.
I thought you were doing the Twitter thing where all you say is Mikal Bridges with no context. That's
No,
what I
there
thought
was
you-
context behind it. I feel like people got the joke.
I got to it after about 5 seconds, but at first I was like, she's just saying Mikal Bridges. That's a funny tweet, but I don't know that it works on the show.
Can I just say one thing?
Mikal-
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
Yes.
Monroe's hot chicken.
Mikal Bridges is a Rams fan, and he took it in the teeth. That's for sure.
We're going to transition to a manscaping.
I was gonna, but
Oh, no.
Damn it. There it was. Oh,
we don't need to go there yet. We're already way off the rails. I was trying to get us back to at least within shouting distance of the rails. But Mikal Bridges is going to have to take some grief from Arizona fans over, I think, this entire season, because the Cardinals are at 4-0 looking pretty impressive. Speaking of a team that looked pretty impressive, obviously the defending Western Conference champion Phoenix Suns, which you're all here to hear us talk about. We'll actually get into that 15 minutes into the show now. But so we're going to play a new game. that kind of a game. We're gonna call this segment "That's What He Said." In the future, I'd like you guys to join in on that, but I accept.
Oh,
that.
so like all in unison.
So let's try this again. We're gonna do a new segment called
"That's What He Said."
Thank you.
Lindsay's participation was like 15% on that.
She was like lip syncing it. She was like,
Yeah, I didn't love that one, to be honest. I felt peer pressured, and I didn't like that one. I'm sorry, Espo.
That's the whole show.
I didn't even know
this
that was
whole
happening.
show is peer. No, that's because I didn't join the pre-show meeting, so we didn't talk about it. Let's look at this though. We've got a few clips from training camp that were some of the better quotes that we enjoyed. Let's listen to them and react to them. Gerald, you were actually there. Any setup that we need to see before we watch any of this?
Yeah, basically just Monty Williams was talking about Mikal Bridges, and then Mikal Bridges decided to crash the party. So it was interesting to hear him talk about Mikal Bridges' development and kind of what he sees for his role this upcoming season. And then Mikal Bridges talked a little bit about he reacted to Monty's comments, and then he reacted to Chris Paul's comment, because earlier in the week Chris Paul had mentioned that we had asked him who's the guy who in this shortened off season has come to training camp and looked like they're ready to play and ready to expand their role, and he immediately said Mikal Bridges. So that's kind of the basic setup for these clips that we're gonna play.
I love how Gerald really stretched this out, because our producer Shay did not have it ready to go, and he's like, "No, wait,
stretch."
I couldn't even see that. I had no idea that was happening.
Welcome to a Monday.
Were you just wondering why I was not shutting up?
Well, no, I was just like,
This is the longest setup
no.
ever."
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I was like, well, Gerald's never pitched you a video before. Like, this isn't his wheelhouse. Like, maybe this is just like a thing that he's learning on. I literally had no idea what was happening. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
He's talking for so long.
He's trying really hard.
I love that Gerald tried to do everything but say the direct quote. He's like, this is if you were going to get the cliff notes of what's supposed to be in this video, this is what it was said, but without saying it. Do we have that, Shane? All right.
Man, but can I just real quick... Shout out to Gerald for that, though. That was a pro move to be able to stretch like that. Shout out.
It's
Gerald.
a Monday for everybody.
Well, I didn't know he was talking about me in the first place. I asked my man over there. I'm like, who is he talking? I was like I was a reporter. I was like, who are you talking about over there? But it's dope to hear from Coach. He just knows I work hard, and I just try to get better every year. And I appreciate him, making me feel confident and making me able to play the stuff I worked on in the off season. So, I appreciate him for everything he let me do. See, he gave me a compliment. Wow. I didn't say that one. Just shooting a little bit better. Try to get my hand a little bit tighter. Just be comfortable with it. And I think just all season I had, was stressing on that, and I think I've got better.
I think the work ethic allows for him to continue to grow. Just a tireless worker. He's one of the guys that we have to kick out of the gym. And sometimes when you're talking to the media, you got to kick him out of the media session because you want him to get out of the way. And case in point, right there. But he just works his tail off. And so you know that those guys are going to continue to add to their games. Since we've gotten here, I knew what he could do from a cutting and moving without the ball, but now he's gotten so used to playing with the ball, and we need him to. We want to put him in environments that allow for him to be the third option for us on any given night, and I think he's capable of it.
So that last clip, to give some context, Gerald, if I'm correct, that's where Mikal joins the media scrum with you guys and stares at Monty. Right?
Yeah, he walked over in like his practice gear and was just standing behind the camera and just like staring at Monty, like nodding, like trying to be one of the reporters. So Monty was taking it in stride, and then he was like, sometimes we have to kick him out of the media session. And it was funny because I was recording. The audio's not great, but I was recording, and I just like pan over to Mikal, and he's just like nodding what Monty was saying. So Mikal's like, everybody always talks about how funny he is, and he's just like, they call him the heart and soul of the team just because he's like that funny guy, but he also works really hard, and it's really talented. So
I wish we could see a little bit more of his personality,
Mhm.
because I feel like when he's in these moments, for the most part, he kind of shuts it down to a degree, and he's very matter of fact.
Mhm.
He doesn't really give you too much here or there.
Yeah.
Actually, the Red Sea thing from last week was one of the few times where I actually saw him like kind of bust out of his into his normal character or who he really is. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that, and you're not going to get it unless you're behind the scenes or you're with the team, because there's a certain comfort level that he has. It looks like he's getting more and more comfortable with the media, which is nice.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll see a little bit more of that this season. But I love his personality overall.
Yeah, I think he's fun, and when you see that interaction with the coach, there's a lot of respect there, because he knows he can go do that and have fun with Monty, and that it's not going to be a big issue. He's earned that respect from Monty, and that Monty can joke around about it. That's a sign to me of a team that's not pressing too hard, despite a world of expectations now on them, and for a player who has a huge amount of expectations on him going into this season, because internal growth is what we've heard is going to be a big part of how they stay on top in the West. And sometimes that can create internal pressure, undue pressure, things that change people in the way they react to things because they feel that pressure. I know it's one clip, but it does not feel like this team, and Gerald, you've been around them, has that pressure.
No, I mean, their whole thing in training camp so far has been like, we're easing guys back into this. We have continuity on our side in training camp, as opposed to last year when we're trying to work in Chris Paul and Jay Crowder, 2 new starters. For the most part, the new guys are all bench guys and role players who can kind of seamlessly fit in. So they're taking advantage of that. Devin Booker hasn't really done too much in training camp. They're kind of easing him back into it because it's been a long summer for him. And they're happy to be back in the gym. That's what they all say. It's only been 2 months or whatever since that finals heartbreak, but they're happy to be back. They take that get to, not a got to approach, and they're ready to go to work again.
Mikal specifically, where do we? I know we've discussed some of it, but you hear in the clips they're talking about, he's worked on his game. He's not leaving the gym at times. Obviously, visually, you can tell he's added some muscle. He was one of the guys I figured the storyline of. He added 10 to 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason, which happens every training camp, that he'd be one of those guys. But he obviously looks like, and it sounds like he's done everything. How big of a leap are we expecting from Mikal? And that starts this week with preseason.
Again, I keep going back to this. It's only been 2 months, though.
Yeah.
The size thing, sure, in 2 months, I gather that you could probably put on that kind of weight. He's already skinny to begin with. So, and he says it's very hard for him to put on weight in the first place. So I could see, but honestly,
I feel you on that.
Honestly, if we were to do this every year, which we always do, and we talk about how people have a new perspective or, they've improved, it's the same story every single year. It's not until you see them on the court that you're actually going to see it. We could do this in everyday life, Espo. You just came back from vacation. You look like you're a little bit more well-adjusted. You're better suited in your role now. And,
you're lying through your
still
teeth.
Still the same asshole you always were. But,
I love that the people on the podcast listening, the audio only could believe that. The people watching go, no, he looks as bad as ever. So,
the self-deprecation.
Dude, yeah.
That's what I'm known for. Why did you think I'd go on vacation for a week and come back different?
I just thought you would be refreshed.
I am refreshed. I'm ready for this.
A bigger, better Espo. Yeah, I know.
Bigger,
no. I knew he was going to do it.
Are we going to transition to Manscaped now? Is that what? No. Okay. So Mikal, looking at that, I think you're right, but that you can't have a huge jump physically in 2 months, but in the bubble. Between when the season shut down and the bubble, remember how big of a leap Cam took in just that time when he came back? I think you could see that, even though it's been a truncated offseason, that you could see Mikal take a bigger jump in his offense and do that. I don't see why that wouldn't be something that could happen, in even though it's only 2 months, if the guy's always in a gym.
April, May, June. That's 3 months. That's still another 30 days.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but also when you're talking about post-bubble, we were still pretty heavy in lockdown at that point, so there was a lot less to do. Whereas
true.
between the finals and the start of this season, it's not as
restricted.
Yeah. Like lockdown might be a bad word to say, but you know,
I mean,
people are vaccinated now. You can
was,
actually travel now. But yeah, back
You don't
after
think
the
McHale
bubble,
put
it was
himself
like,
on lockdown the last 2 months to work on his game?
I mean,
I wouldn't say the full 2 months. No, I think he took a break.
He said he took like a week or two off, and then he was back in the gym and working on his handle and, you know, that workout routine to put on a little bit of muscle. But so he didn't spend the whole off season, but he did. It does seem like, based on what everyone's saying, that he spent a considerable amount of it improving his game and working on some things, especially with the ball in his hands, which is the biggest area of development for him.
But you could also say that, you know, that playoff experience, that was a big growing period as well. So even though it wasn't technically the off season and he wasn't quote unquote in a gym working on things, he was in a gym working on things. You know what I mean? So
I'm fascinated by how they start off this season, because I feel like they're going to start off relatively strong because they just got done playing 2 months ago. They grew almost like 5 seasons worth in just a playoff period, each one of them. And then how they all adjust and learn from their roles from last year to this year and how they develop. I think McHale will, just like DA, will take a step forward in terms of being a little bit more dominant with the ball. And I'm here for it, because I think McHale's mid-range is just about unguardable when he wants to get that shot off, because he's so lanky.
Well, I think, too, you could also point to going back a few years. We've had this conversation before, Gerald. He was kind of working on that hitch that was in his shot throughout the season, and he may not have been able to, like, completely fix it, but it progressed throughout the season. So if there's a guy who has a track record of being able to improve during a season, I feel like McHale is one of those guys.
And that was one of the things he mentioned as well, as far as because I asked him what he worked on specifically that got that kind of praise from Chris Paul, and he said handle and shooting the ball a little bit better, which last year he was already borderline 40% 3-point shooter. So that would be huge if he can take it up another notch from there.
You know, Saul, I'm in the same boat as you. The first month of the season. Why do you? That's quite the look. What did you expect me to say? Jeez. All right.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at Lindsey, first of all.
I don't want to. Do I need to move? You guys should sit next to each other.
I moved the table.
Oh, okay.
Because it needed to be centered in the camera frame. I was trying to do it subtle.
But my foot almost fell off.
Foot almost fell off. That's why we made
not
eyes, and then you thought I was making googly eyes at you. So I don't know what happened there, Espo. Do you need something, baby?
Oh no.
I'm regretting agreeing with you on something, but I am also interested in how the first month of the season plays out for this team.
Oh no!
We have no we have about as much of a producer as we usually have. So.
Damn!
Oh, we love you, Shane.
Espo came back with some heat.
We love you, Shane.
You, man. You
He's
think
on
like
fire.
A week on the beach would just be relaxing?
No.
He'd come back all chill.
I don't do vacation.
He had a bunch of sand.
Good vibes.
I took abuse the entire show when we were doing bets earlier about Johnny, and I thought this was a safe space, but
no, it's not. Just remember that. Anyways, the first month of the season, I'm very interested in because I've had the question since the finals ended: is this a group that, you know, we've heard the term disease of more, or all these things that come into play after you experience success at the beginning, like they did. You know, would there be some kind of fraction in that locker room or anything that could wear on them? And it just, the clips I've watched, you know, yes, I was on vacation, but I watched all the clips from media sessions that they sent. It seems like, again, they're lighthearted. They're still that group, and that could carry them to big success in that first month. And that a fast start, I think, is important to solidify in their minds and in the minds of everybody that this is the real deal. This wasn't some, you know, fugazi. It wasn't some weird, you know, mirage. It was the real thing. All right.
Fluke.
I don't know what a fugazi is.
Fluke, basically. Okay. But no, I agree with you. I think it'd be better if they wrap up those contract negotiations with McHale and DA, because You know, we hear Monty talking about McHale being a third option. We hear DA talking about wanting to shoot more threes and wanting to expand his game and not really liking the big man role that he's put in and sacrificed for these last few years. So I feel like heading into the season, it would definitely help a little bit more if they got those wrapped up and we didn't have to.
I don't think DA says what he says unless he's had some heart-to-heart conversations with Monty. And I think, you know, he did mention that Monty and him had a conversation in the offseason. And I just feel like that's, I don't know, from a player perspective, I feel like that's when DA was probably like, listen, coach, like, I love you. I love this organization. I love what we've been doing. But, you know, daddy's got to eat.
He earned it, though.
He does.
I mean, like, I didn't think that what he said was out of left field necessarily. The guy is sacrificed, and he proved himself in the playoffs. I think outside of the 3-point shooting, you know, but like he deserved more offensive touches.
Agreed.
I think so. I think he needs to show more of the skill set that he deserves those touches for sure.
I will say this. I 1,000% think that if you take out DA and put in Dario and then run set plays for Dario, that is trash. And that happened a lot last year where DA would not get sets run for him. Yeah. And you just can only imagine in DA's head, I'm doing everything the team is asking me to do, yet I can't wet my beak a little bit on the offensive side and get some plays run for me. Like, that's bullshit.
But that's the thing is, like, Dario's skill set is more perimeter oriented, which is where their offense
they would run
thrives.
Post plays on the block for him.
For Dario?
Yes.
As a passer, maybe, but
we
not
would talk
as...
about it
No, we would
times.
we would talk about it in post game at times because I know this is a hot button topic for Saul, but I think part of it is too
triggered.
You're running. Yes, it's not. This is a safe space for you, Saul, not
for Shane.
So I think part of that is they'd say, well, Dario was the facilitator or an offensive option with the second unit. But if that's the case, then stagger your minutes, play DA with the second unit, and give him some touches on the offensive end.
But that's the thing is, like, Dario can dribble and pass, and DA, aside from flashes that he showed in the playoffs, which is why we're having this conversation about what more he can do. If you're throwing the ball to DA in the post, it's going to be a jump hook, or he's going to turn and face and shoot a jumper.
So
he doesn't have a bag in the post other than that.
DA can pass. And
his passes are two-handed overhand zingers every time. Like, he's not that kind of, like, skilled passer that Dario is. He's just not.
We're just going to let...
He might not be the skilled passer Dario is, but I don't think he's so egregiously bad in comparison that you can't post the guy up.
No, I agree. You can post him up, but I don't think that he's not like a Jokic or a Marc Gasol that you give him the ball on the elbow or on the block and you run stuff and he's going to, like, make the right read every time.
But he hasn't had much of a chance to do that.
That's fair. And we can see what that might look like this year, I think, in that kind of expanded role that he's talking about.
But wouldn't you think there's a reason why he hasn't had that experience in games?
Yeah, it's because they're playing with Chris Paul and Devin Booker at the same time.
Or are you thinking maybe behind the scenes, something that we're not seeing?
I don't know, because you've been to practice. I've been to practice. You've been to practice. And I'm sure you have too.
Before I've been.
Yeah. But, you know, and I would see DA doing things in practice that I'm like, holy crap, how come I can't see that on the floor? You know what I mean? So I don't know what it is or why things are happening, but I think DA is making it a point this year to say, hey, y'all need to trust me a little bit more, and I want to be more of an impact on the offensive side.
I think part of it is there's some people that you just don't give multiple areas to focus on at once.
Right. As
a manager, you know, as somebody that leads, like a coach, you just understand that about certain people. I think DA is one of those guys, and last year they gave him, you need to be the centerpiece of the defense. He's mastered that. I think it's second nature now. Now, adding in some additional offensive touches and plays run for him, I think makes sense. That is the next iteration. That is internal growth that you're going to need to stay at the top of the West. So early on, I would like to see that. Now, if it doesn't work out, fine. Shift back, go back to what worked some last year. But I think he earned the opportunity to prove whether or not he can do it in in-game action.
I think so too. And I think that element of being able to put the ball on the floor and attack a guy in front of him who might be playing off him is key for him. And I really do think that he can show that. It's just we shouldn't say that they never ran anything for him, right? Because the pick and roll, when he dives to the basket, that is something that a defense has to account for. And it's kind of like the base level thing that opens up everything else. So I understand that, like, from his perspective, that's not always fun being the guy that opens things up for everybody else. But it is a key part of what makes the Suns so dangerous with all the ball handlers and shooters that they have on the perimeter.
I don't think they need to completely overhaul the offense.
Right.
You don't mess with something that really works. But I think you slowly over time have to do that. Or DA could be that guy that becomes the shift in the locker room because he has sacrificed. And it's those guys that put in that sacrifice that don't get something on the back end that tend. I mean, we talked about, we did a whole trial on Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire that focused on some of that. That's the danger here.
In the LA Clippers series specifically, DA showed on several occasions that he could put the ball on the floor, get to the basket. He made some very nice moves a couple times. I want to say he had a reverse at one point. And that shocked people. People were like, oh, we've never seen that.
Right.
I think that kind of gives you a glimpse of what he's hoping to get accomplished this season. And when he gets that ball at the elbow, instead of immediately thinking he needs to defer to everybody else, I think you're going to see him say, no, I got this. It's one-on-one, whatever. Here we go.
And that'd be great.
Yeah, here for it.
I'd be down for that.
If I had to bet on it, I think it would. It's going to happen this year. And you know what? If I had to bet, I'd use that DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. You thought
I'm catching on. I knew it was coming.
Would have messed with that? No, that's the easy flow, baby. The hosting is the hard part. The transitions to ads. Oh, we got that down. DraftKings, America's #1 sportsbook app. If you use the code PHNX when you sign up with DraftKings, you're going to get $150 in free bets when you bet $1 on any football game. Do it quick because I think this offer may be expiring soon, and I highly suggest that you take advantage of it. I have had more fun with my free bets than I thought was possible. I did a 7-bet in-game parlay yesterday for.
Oh wow!
I'm trying to think 7-bet in-game parlay yesterday for the Cardinals game. And use they had a free $25 if you lost the parlay. So I'm like, let's load this thing up. Let's do it. Just missed it. I needed a rushing touchdown from Kyler Murray to hit on it. I would have won like $500, but it's just fun. It's fun.
I did the parlay yesterday too, but I made the mistake of trusting the Houston Texans to cover an 18-point spread, and they did not. They lost by 40 and got shut out.
Shane almost went with that as his lock last week. I heard so luckily he walked away and went elsewhere. But you weren't alone in that thinking. But look, it's a fun way. These in-game parlays, you can bet on multiple things that happen in one game, or you can do a parlay about multiple things in multiple games. It's a fun way to make games that wouldn't necessarily be interesting to you interesting.
It's fun unless you bet on the fucking Titans to beat the Jets and they let down your 5-game parlay.
Wow.
Poverty franchise. So upset.
I love it. Gerald doesn't get like that about anything except for when he lost his parlay because of the Titans. Yeah,
okay, I have a question.
Yes.
If you make a futures bet, like the ones we all talked about, do you get the same odds as when you place the bet, or do those odds change throughout the season? They change
throughout the season. So let's just say Deandre Ayton, because I put money on him. He's a plus 4,000 to win Defensive Player of the Year. Let's just say we get halfway through the year and he is playing lights out. As the money moves and people start putting more money on those bets, then the odds change.
But the original wager that you placed doesn't.
Yeah. So whatever,
my odds stay the same
wherever you place your bet at, that's where it stays.
Okay,
it can't change.
I was gonna bring like obviously Kyler Murray, right? Like those odds are changing, and we've seen them.
He started at a plus 2,000 in preseason to be an MVP. He's now at a plus 450
Right.
today.
But if you took the bet when he was at a plus 2,000, you get those same odds no matter what.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to make sure. I'm like, because if DA does go off this year and then all of a sudden those change, like I would, and I'm just like, well, that wouldn't be a good bet then at that point because you wouldn't win that much money.
No,
that's not fun.
No, you keep that. I think it was plus 6,000 on DA to be defensive player of the year.
4,000.
Was it 4? Yeah, you keep that plus.
Because that wouldn't be fair. Because then nobody would gamble.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, then what's the point of betting early?
These odds, minus 100. Oh, you guys all owe us.
Yeah, that's okay. I just needed to make sure.
Yeah, and so if you want to get in on some of that in-game parlay action, some futures bets, whatever you want to bet a money line on a cricket match, you can do all those things with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Espo, how did you know that I almost went with the Texans? You weren't even here.
I listened to everything. I am paid to listen to everything.
He didn't actually take a vacation. He just went home.
I listened to everything. Just remember that.
Well, I mean, if people want to listen to everything just like Espo, all you have to do is become a member and subscribe at gophnx.com. You can read everything. You can listen to everything. You can be involved in everything. So it's a pretty solid place to be if you're a guy like Espo who just wants to consume all the content.
Who has a problem. I say that. I didn't listen to any one of these episodes from last week, so still on my list to go back and listen to you guys.
Hey, I mean, it's all right. We get it.
I listened to Saul. I just on other shows.
We get it.
No, he listened to me because I was texting him, leave me the fuck alone.
I missed you, Saul.
He's like, what's going on back there? I was like, I don't know. How's the fucking beach?
I don't know. I want to know what's going on.
He's like, I don't know. I'm not there. I'm in my hotel room on the phone.
To tell his wife that I am not bugging him.
Yeah, I know, right? You got to make sure.
And said, Saul is bugging me. He won't leave me alone.
I almost guarantee that's what happened. And the next time I see her, she's going to try and swing and hit me in the face. I'm like, that's not my fault.
No, that's not true. All right. I'm sorry. Please continue with the.
You're fine. I get it. It's hard to walk away from really good content. That's sweet, sweet content, right?
I'm gone for a week and she's stealing my own lines from me. All right.
Hey, it was an homage to you last week. So now it's.
You have a nice tan, though.
Now it's in.
It's just because I'm wearing really light colors today. It's an illusion.
But if you do become a member, you can get a lot of obviously access to the content. You can also get a free t-shirt from our locker room right now. And we've got some cool ones in there. And if you are already a member, our deal of the week for members is if you buy any college t-shirt, you get half off any other t-shirt in our locker. And the Sparky's one is pretty dope.
The gear is being shipped out. I know there's been a lot of questions about people like, hey, where's my shirt?
Yeah.
Like, it's coming. Like, and we got photos of it last week. There are mountains and mountains of t-shirts that we are separating and sending out. It's going to be pretty awesome because once you start to see this around the valley, you're going to want to get one. It's really cool. Also, tomorrow night, I just have to plug this because it's a pretty big night. We have the Sunnies. Do we have a graphic of that or no?
We have a whole segment in the
I
show
know
about
we have
this.
a graphic. I thought we had a graphic, but Shane was chilling like we didn't have a graphic. So I was like, maybe we don't have a graphic.
He hasn't downloaded it yet. Don't worry.
Because we have 15 more minutes until we're supposed to talk about the Sunny
Awards tomorrow. If you guys don't know, our guy Zona Hoops is the man that's in charge of the Sunnies. He does it every single year. This time, we're doing a full video special. It's going to be awesome.
We've got a special guest joining. Lindsey, I'm going to let you, since I'm out of practice, why don't you introduce our guest today?
Yes. Well, we are welcoming in from the Phoenix Mercury, Brianna Turner. Brianna, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
Good,
We're doing fantastic. We're just waiting for the audio to come through so we can hear what you're saying.
Well, I mean, for starters, how are you feeling? I mean, coming off a great win with your team, just how are you feeling as a unit right now?
We're all feeling really well, but we also know the job is not done yet. What we've done yet doesn't really mean anything if we don't finish out this series. So we're trying to come ready to go Wednesday night.
Great. Well, you had a huge game in Game 3. What was it like for you to be able to go out there and have such an impact in a playoff game?
It was definitely exciting. My teammates and coaching staff were encouraging me the entire game. And I mean, the game's a little bit easier too when you're playing with point guards like Diana and Skylar Diggins. So a lot of credits to my teammates as well for getting me the ball.
And Brianna, can we ask you to turn up your volume maybe on your phone? That might be an issue.
On my laptop. Let's see.
It's all good. Yeah, you can route the audio through your AirPods, I think.
Yeah, I can hear you on my AirPods. Fine.
Okay. All right.
I had a question. I don't know if you were aware of this, but you guys set a franchise playoff record, or a WNBA record actually, for the playoff game. Most rebounds in a game with 58 to the Aces 29. You had a fantastic game. Brittany Griner also did her thing down low. I mean, what's kind of the advantage for you guys against this particular team when it comes to inside the paint?
I actually didn't even know that we set a record, but I don't know. We know point emphasis for us is always rebounding, so I guess we were just really focused on that. And we know the Aces has a really big lineup, so we knew rebounding was going to be key.
You know, Bill Laimbeer, you a fan of him?
I don't really know him. I know he was Notre Dame, so go Irish. But
did you hear about what he said about yesterday's game?
What did he say?
Well, he basically tried to minimize your impact and said that they basically gave you a bunch of garbage points, which if you've ever watched Brianna Turner play, you'd realize that's absolute trash for a head coach to say something like that. You're one of the hardest workers out there. And you do a lot of little things out there that puts yourself in a position to be able to capitalize on opportunities like you did yesterday. What is your overall take on him basically minimizing your impact on yesterday's game? And how much do you really want to beat them this next game just to shove it in their face?
Well, of course, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But I mean, if I can have that performance getting trash buckets, I hope I get trash buckets the rest of the season. So, it worked out for me. So call them trash buckets, call them easy, leave me open. I mean, if it works, it works. So I don't really care what he calls it.
What isn't that more on the defensive strategy? Like it feels like he's ripping his own strategy there.
Right.
You had an amazing performance, so I don't see why Laimbeer went that direction. But you guys are sitting one game away from the WNBA Finals. You get another game at home, and this time actually at home at the Footprint Center. What did it mean to the team to know that the Suns and the Lakers agreed to move their preseason game to the afternoon so your group could actually play in your home arena?
I think it's a really great opportunity for us. Even earlier in our season, we had to switch around some game dates when the Suns were on playoffs. So it's good that they kind of had that same respect for us, and they're going to move their game up. But I definitely like the Suns and the Mercury. It's a really big family. We support each other on and off the court. So I actually wasn't surprised by the move.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair that you guys show up for each other. Like you said, it's one big family. All right, I want to know, how does it feel to know that on this team, there are so many different members who at any given night can show up really big and be the difference maker for this group to push you guys forward and get the W? Because we've seen it this whole playoffs. Every night it's a different player who's stepping up big for the Merc.
I think that just credits to our versatility. Obviously, Sophie had a really big game against New York. Diana in Vegas, like you said, any given night it can be anyone's opportunity. I think we're just playing really well together now. We're really peaking right now, so I think we're going to continue to flourish throughout the rest of the playoffs.
How much of that is a testament to Coach Brondello and the system that she's put together, where it's not just predicated on one person? Anybody on any given night can step up.
Really just goes to her trust in us and our trust in each other. We always talk about like staying together and weathering the storm, and we know there's going to be highs and lows. We kind of just have to ride the wave and stay consistent through it all.
You guys, I mean, you've been with this team for a couple of years now. What is different? What's different now about this playoff run than maybe the first 2 seasons you were here in Phoenix?
I would definitely say the confidence level. I think everyone is just really excited for the opportunity. Everyone's ready. Everyone knows their roles and knows what we need to do to execute and win. So I think just our mentality is different this year than previous years.
Now, Brianna, you have a reputation for being one of the fastest post-game tweeters around. So I saw a lot of people speculating about this on Twitter. So can you settle this debate for the people? How do you get your tweets off so fast after the game is over?
Where is your burner phone, and is it under the chair on the bench?
My phone stays in my backpack in the locker room. And I mean, as soon as the game ends, we go right to the locker room. And usually on that little short walk, I think of something in my head, a couple sentences, and I get to my phone and I just tweet it before Coach Sandy comes in and talks to us.
So it's only in that short walk from after the final buzzer to by the time you get to the locker room, you're able to create a tweet that quickly? You're not even like using some time maybe on the bench late in the game or anything?
I only need about 30, 45 seconds to think of something.
That's it.
That's
Sherry
impressive.
knows what she's going to say.
Yeah.
In the next game.
That's impressive.
Secure the dub. Bye, Bill.
She's got the post basketball career ready. She's got social media in the bag there as well. So, final question for me, going into this game on tomorrow night at home, or excuse me, Wednesday night at home, to kind of try to seal the deal here. How do you guys stay focused? How do you get it taken care of at home and not have to go back to Las Vegas?
Well, we know they're going to be really hungry. They want to obviously force a game 5, but obviously we don't want to go back to Vegas the rest of the year. So we know we have to come in focused and for the entire 4 quarters. Like, it's not going to be easy. It's like, obviously we're not expecting a blowout. So we know we're going to have to play strong the full 40 minutes and execute our schemes.
Brianna, if you guys do win, if you ladies do win, actually every professional team in the Footprint Center will have made their league championship, which is pretty amazing. So good luck to you.
Thank you. We'll have to keep it up, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we'll be cheering you on Wednesday night.
Thank you.
And as she tweeted out the other day, pull up or tune in Wednesday night at 7 p.m. at the Footprint Center.
Yeah,
or like we said, it's a back-to-back doubleheader with the Suns and the Merc. Like, make a whole day of it. Take the afternoon off from work and just go hang out.
And shoot right on down.
Well, I think it's fantastic that the Suns and the Lakers, as much as I hate giving the Lakers credit for anything, were willing to move that preseason game. I thought it was an atrocity that the team had to play its first 2 home playoff games at alternate sites, and not even the same alternate site.
Right.
They went from GCU to ASU. It's just tough because, sure, it's home. You've got your fans, but it changes the routine, and athletes are creatures of habit. So I was so glad to see in such an important game with a trip to the finals on the line that the Suns were willing to make that move and let them play in their home building.
I mean, I think the Lakers, again, like, I hate to give the Lakers credit, but they're a franchise that also has a WNBA team with the Sparks. So, and LeBron has been an advocate for the WNBA as well. He almost tried to buy a part ownership of the Atlanta team. So, there's a movement in the NBA to support the WNBA at a high level. You've seen that with the Suns sitting courtside, Chris Paul buying 500 tickets, which I heard they were lining up as early as 6:30 in the morning for.
Oh, nice.
It's just incredible. This town is a basketball town. They love some good basketball. It doesn't matter if it's the Suns or the Mercury. They're going to support. They're going to be out there on Wednesday. I bet that place is going to be freaking lit on Wednesday.
It's going to be super fun. I'm just going to say one thing. If it's not the Mercury court that is down for both of these games, I'm going to have an issue.
It is going to be the Mercury court.
Good.
Okay.
It is going to be the Mercury court.
So that's confirmed?
I read that yesterday. It is confirmed that it is going to be the Mercury
court.
Good, because that's the way it should be.
Which is dope that the Suns are going to play on the Mercury court.
Right?
They deserve, the Mercury deserve to have every advantage to themselves in this game to try to close it out. Screw Bill Lambier, by the way.
Who's Bill Lambier?
The former. Exactly.
Gerald gets it.
I got the reference.
Yeah, but seriously, like, I get that he's got a bad boy reputation to keep up, but that's just stupid.
No, it's not a bad boy. It's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's
And
always
he was
an
an asshole when
ass.
he's in the
Well,
NBA.
that's what the bad
he's
boy
an asshole now.
It was in the 80s.
You know what
they
it
couldn't
is?
say the assholes.
He's
They
a
had
big
to call themselves
asshole.
the
You know
bad
what
boys.
it
Asshole
is?
Pistons.
It's a lack of accountability. I'm sorry you didn't game plan for a specific player to go off, but that's on you, sir.
Yes.
Do better next time.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
make an excuse. Period.
It's the old when you point one finger at someone, three more pointing right back at you. Bill, it was your fault. Like, this team is deep. Just because you tried to shut down 2 people, there's a full roster there of ladies that are going to stick it to you, and they did, and they have 2 games in a row. And I hope they come out and they just stomp them on Wednesday. Just put the foot on the neck.
He's just salty because they ended the buffet at Caesars.
And the thing that,
Oh,
What's that? I didn't realize it was going to hit that hard.
Well, how dare you make fun of the buffet at Caesars?
the thing
The
that sucks
buffet at Caesars is lit.
Oh, no.
is I actually really do like a lot of the players on the Las Vegas Aces, but because of his shenanigans on the side, it's making me dislike the team as a whole, and I don't like that.
Well, it'd be
Because
one-
I also want to cheer, like, not in this series, of course, but for the specific players on that team who I'm like, these women are amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, you're making it hard to even want to do that. Okay, stop.
It'd be one thing if this were the first comment, but he said Diana Taurasi was faking her injury.
yeah.
Like, come on. Like, what benefit does that give Diana Taurasi, the greatest player in the women's game ever?
Well, yeah,
to
because
fake
she
her
proved to you that
injuries?
even if she was hurt, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you know that was
She's
motivation.
still gonna whoop you.
She did that. Her big game was the game after.
Direct
he said
response
that.
to Bill.
That
Yeah.
was a direct response. Like,
That was and I took that personally.
yes,
I
yes,
took
it
that
was.
personally.
You
Yeah.
know what I also take personally?
Oh boy.
Oh, here we
Personal
I
go.
was going to say ball handling is really key for Mikal Bridges, but speaking of ball handling,
I
My
take
God.
things really personally when it comes to grooming. And we have a new. I can't believe I missed the inaugural week with this sponsor.
Oh boy.
Gerald held it down for the team.
I
I felt the temperature in the room go up by about 20 degrees doing it.
He was like, "Is it
You know what?
hot in here?"
You know why?
Why?
Because I manscaped this morning. The Manscaped is our new sponsor here, and I got to tell you, the Lawnmower 4.0 is, if you don't want to look like what's on Saul's chin, Manscaped.
why you got to bring my face into a
was
ball
so
manscaping?
mean.
That's so fucked up.
Well, I'm just
That's
saying
so
hair.
fucked up.
If you don't want to look like Gerald's face or my face,
That's fair. Just use my face, don't we? We just got to
Well,
get through this, man.
Nobody wants to look like
This is
Shane's face.
terrible. Yeah.
Bless your heart,
We
Gerald.
just
I
got to
broke
get
you.
through this, man.
I broke Gerald.
I'm glad he didn't go with the Halloween read.
No, wait.
Oh, if you want to see a gorilla bust out my pants, like what?
Yeah.
No.
If you don't want to look like Go way down
Oh,
there,
no.
Okay, too far.
Not the
Too
Suns mascot.
far.
do it. That was Saul's fault. Look, I'm gonna tell you, Manscaped is if you want to. How do I'm gonna try to
Just take care of the boys. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly.
Clean up the boys, make the nether regions a little bit more pleasant for not only yourself, but for whoever wants to engage.
You want to be
There you go.
smoother. You want to smell better. You
Willing participants.
There you go.
Anybody.
Willing participants. There you go.
Consensual adults.
Absolutely.
willing participants. Yes, I think
Yes.
that's a quality way to put it.
Yes.
At Lawnmower 4.0, you can get that 20% off, free shipping when you use the code PHNX at checkout. And
If you don't want your thing to look like a baby hamster stuck in the hay, go to Manscaped.
baby hamsters. Wow.
You know,
what other?
'cause they're like
where
this
else can
big.
we go?
Laser.
Yeah. Where else can we go?
That's it. Just,
Home.
just read the promo and let's get out of here.
This thing is so gentle you could use it on a peach and shave off the fuzz. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. That's how good the Manscaped 4.0 is. So if you. They have lotions, potions, anything and everything
Body
that
wash,
you could want.
a ball spritzer. They do have a
the ball
ball
spritzer is
It's
quite
actually
nice.
nice.
It is
It's
a very
actually,
weird.
when it's hot in the middle of the summer and you just Oh man, it's like, ooh, there you go. No?
Like an air conditioning.
Am I alone in this?
It's your own valley. Ooh.
Don't look at me and ask me that question. I can't answer that.
It's like women when they wear a sundress and they want the AC to like just cool off the areas, right? It's the same thing.
If
like,
you're
I can't wear a sundress, so I gotta do something.
It's like, you know, the Marilyn Monroe clip where she's on the grate.
See me in a sundress.
Oh, not
the Marilyn Monroe clip where she's on the grate.
That's what
the spritzer's like.
There it is.
It is. So as I said, Gerald,
that's our bet.
Can we go back to when he ruined one of the greatest Suns playoff moments of all time?
If you watch your own valley, use that ball spritzer. You get 20% off of it.
I cannot.
At manscaped.com, use that code PHNX. And these will continue to be awkward because that's what we do best here.
Oh, man, cringeworthy right here.
It's only Monday.
You're not even going to be here for the rest of the week.
Gerald's like, thank God I'm going on vacation this week. I can't handle 5 days of this.
I missed a full week of Manscaped reads while I was gone.
No, it was only one day. It started last Friday.
Oh, it's 2 because Saul did one on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. It started on Thursday.
That makes me feel so much better. Maybe I went too hard in my first read here. You know? I didn't mean it like that. Oh God!
Can I do one of the and we're outs now?
I think we get another DraftKings read, right? Lindsay, you want to do the DraftKings read?
For the love of God!
Do I want to do
the over under a number of cringes when we do a Manscaped read?
Actually, Lindsay and I were just talking about placing a wager on.
We were. So, and we said this a lot last week. There's a lot of conversation, obviously, around Sue Bird right now retiring after this season, or this being her last season. Mm-hmm. And Diana Taurasi's name keeps getting tossed into that conversation. Mm-hmm. I say no chance. This is not DT's last season. Saul doesn't agree.
I'm in Saul's camp for one reason. Her second child is due any day. And I could see where that is, you know what? This has been fun. I got my gold medal. If they go out champs,
it's over.
It's over.
I think if they go out champs, yeah.
I think even if they get back to the WNBA finals, I think it's over.
I think there is a very good chance because I believe her son, it's a son, is due any day now. And I think that if that wasn't a factor, I would probably agree with you, Lindsay.
But I think she's got at least one more year left.
I think the odds are...
But what are you playing for at that point? You know, if you win the championship this year, what are you playing for?
The love of the game.
Yeah, but she's injured. It's taking a toll. But you wanted to place a wager on this, so.
Well, are you gonna wear a sundress or what?
Hell no, I ain't gonna wear a sundress.
Well, you won't come up with your end of the bet.
What's the equivalent for you?
I was gonna wear the Manscaped shirt.
Yeah. That is not the equivalent of me wearing a sundress.
What about a Serge Ibaka man skirt?
Yeah.
Like a kilt.
No, then what is she gonna wear, Gerald? A t-shirt ain't gonna fucking do it.
But the t-shirt has something on it that I wouldn't actually wear in real life.
Hold on a second. Why does this have to be like if she's already put up what she's gonna bet, it's up to you to come up with something comparable. It's not on Lindsay to come up with
t-shirt? Oh yeah, I can wear a different t-shirt. I'll wear whatever t-shirt you want me to wear.
I feel like it'd be more punishment to make you wear a dress shirt.
We can run with that. He said any t-shirt that we want him to wear.
Yeah, because we always wear t-shirts on this show.
I can rock a dress shirt anytime.
He said any t-shirt.
I feel like Gerald has something up his sleeve with any t-shirt.
We can brainstorm any t-shirt.
I think Gerald will help me.
Actually, I think we could come up with a good t-shirt that Saul has to wear.
Okay, how about that? I'll wear the Manscaped t-shirt and you'll wear a t-shirt that we come up with.
If you get to pick mine. How about that?
I think that's fair.
That's fair?
I think it's fair.
Fair. Let's make some guidelines after the show.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Some slight guidelines.
If you slut guidelines.
Slight.
Oh, I was like, what?
No, I heard.
Guidelines.
I heard what he said.
My God.
I thought that's what I heard. See, Gerald agrees that's what I heard.
Wow. Slight.
One Manscaped read and we go way dark on this.
I thought that's what she said. I want to hear this on the tape. So if you want, rewind it.
Thank you. I don't think you can bet on this right now, but I would definitely take the odds that Diana Taurasi is going to retire. I would think. I think I'd get pretty good. Saul and I would get pretty good odds because I think most people would be in your court here, Lindsay. That it's not likely to happen.
All right, so we have a bet though, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I think
we're down. No, I'm not. I don't think she's done. I don't. But
So if you want to place a wager, not on this, but anything else, and not have to wear a weird shirt if you lose, go to our friends at DraftKings, put in that code PHNX, bet $1 on any NFL game, you're going to get $150.
It has to be a T-shirt, though.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Some frilly lace bullshit.
No, it'll be a T-shirt.
Okay.
Does DraftKings have slut guidelines? Just out of curiosity.
21
Dear
and,
Lord.
21 and over.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. I don't even know how to. The Suns do play a preseason game tonight.
That's right, they
And
do.
You know what? They're in Sacramento to play that game. And I'll be frank, it's preseason.
Yeah.
Whoever's got the Reddit link, though, can you just like slide him into my DMs with that link, please?
Ooh, careful with that now.
Yeah.
I said
You're
with
gonna
that
Yeah.
link. I'm
You're
very
gonna need-
specific.
They'll
You're going to
slide
need
in
those
with that link.
guidelines again if you're
Yeah.
asking people to slide into
You need
those.
those,
Oh, no.
the link, and then you'll get.
All right, well
bunch
then
of
just
other
at me
information.
with it.
Look-
We'll just share the wealth. We
Look,
all
yeah.
need it.
It'll be out there. But honestly, first, I don't expect very many of the starters to get any kind of significant minutes.
No.
Well,
What are you trying
Devin's
to-
out. We already know that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Obviously, Devin won't play, but I feel like you're going to get a heavy dose of Jalen Smith, Frank Kaminsky, Landry Shamet, that guy that they signed as a camp body.
You know those tweets that are like Devin Booker plays today. It's a good day. It's like Jason Randall plays today. It's a day.
It's a day.
I mean, it's basically like having to travel to Sacramento in general, right? It's like, I guess we got to do it, right? They're gonna play tonight.
I didn't hate Sacramento.
It's Sacramento.
Never
like,
been.
Dude, Sacramento is awful.
I
And
mean,
it smells awful.
Honestly, if
smells
I
like a
looked at
farm.
it, if you look at any NBA destination, Sacramento's got to be at the bottom of the list, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's not get into this now. Let's do a draft. Let's do a.
would be a good-
What are
The
those
snake
things?
draft?
Ooh,
Or
snake
something.
draft.
This is a good
Snake
one.
draft. I like that.
Fine.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do that on tomorrow's podcast.
Okay.
I feel like it needs to be a
Visually.
visual.
You
Yeah,
wanna
tomorrow.
Have we seen
Tomorrow,
how that visual
Espo.
Tomorrow we have a special
Espo,
show.
we have a special show
That's right.
tomorrow.
Espo, get on the same plan as us.
Wednesday.
Wait. Oh, that's right.
Or that was a next level
That's right.
transition.
It wasn't.
Hey,
It wasn't
shade
next level.
demographic.
It's a next
go.
level transition
Shade.
tomorrow.
Heyo.
Ain't no snake draft tomorrow. It is a special live 7 p.m. edition of this show for the Sunny Awards, the third annual. And Brandon, our friend Zona Hoops, is going to be joining us.
It's taking
As-
my place on the pod.
Maybe we'll make that permanent. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh.
You really want me to go down that road?
No,
right
No.
now?
do
not-
not.
not-
Saul, I do not. Brandon will be joining us, and we will be
Set
honoring.
yourself up for failure on this one.
We will be honoring the best and the brightest of Suns Twitter and Suns social media for this last season. It has become a staple for Suns fans, and we're excited to be a part of it and to help Brandon celebrate it this year. Are we exempt from winning awards, or are we allowed to win any of these?
I cannot confirm nor deny anything. So
Ernst & Young is doing all the
yes,
the-
that's what I
the-
heard. That's
the,
what I heard. Yes.
putting
I'll be
all the
behind the
winners.
scenes over there on the computer just so I can make fun of you guys the whole show.
So join us and see. I don't know what we're gonna wear. I don't know if there's a red carpet, but it's gonna be fun.
I
is
was
what it's
told
gonna
it was a black tie affair.
be. Okay.
It is a black tie
So
affair.
All right.
you'll just be wearing a black tie. Okay, good to know.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a good way around
No,
that.
nobody wants to see that.
Don't get fired at the Sunnies.
No, I didn't
No
mean
career-
just a
no
black
career
tie.
limiting event.
I meant a black tie over jeans and a t-shirt.
He meant just a black tie.
He meant just a black tie. Yeah. He was trying to slut shame him.
Lord have mercy.
We need those guidelines ASAP. Let's end this show before we do something that's one of those career-limiting moves, which I think this whole show may have been. If you want to follow Lindsey, two-time Emmy winner, you can follow her at Lindsey Smith AZ. Gerald Bourguet, who's definitely going to win an Emmy for some of those Manscaped reads from last week.
Oh.
You can follow him at Gerald Bourguet. You can follow Saul Bookman at Saul_Bookman. The underscore is there because of the awkwardness that we needed to store from this entire episode. You can follow me at Espo. You can follow the show at PHNX
We're gonna place the
underscore.
HR pamphlet, right?
that pamphlet got much larger today. It's more of a book now than a pamphlet.
Bless their heart.
You can join us tomorrow live, 7 p.m. right here for the Sunny Awards, and we'll be back again on Wednesday live at 2 p.m. for our normal PHNX Sun show. Can't wait to see you there, and ahoy hoy.